Hey, what's up everybody? This is Papa Bale and welcome to the channel. We're just looking at my my number 2 pulse motor here. It's moving, it's whipping, it's going pretty quick. I do have it hooked up to the power supply currently. Just checking this, this coil right here, the trigger coil, timer coil, sensor coil, whatever you want to call it, coil over here, and just seeing if it works. So we're putting 6 volts through at about 0.2 amps, 200 milliamps. We got this one going up here too at the same rate. They're both hooked up to the same power supply. And they should both run. One should run the other when I get everything hooked up right. But yeah, I was just making sure everything was functioning properly, and we just need to generate enough power to make it work. Alright, well, that's all I have right now. We're waiting for some spacers to come in. So it's a brown cylinder that's hollow in the center. It should fit right in the hole, right there, on a different rotor. And then the inner hole should be just the right size for the bearing. So that should work for getting the bearings in. There it is, right there. They keep popping out, and that's kind of dangerous when it gets going pretty fast. I mean, the shaft kind of protects everything, but I've had it fly off the shaft once, so once is too many times. And this one that I'm using is awesome, but it's a little off balance. But it's freaking cool, dude. It's light as a feather, and it'll whip. So there's 4 magnets on it right now. And the way that it's set up, that one trigger coil right there will fire both of those, and you get twice the torque. Right here, you just got this one coil right there that's firing, and it's about 800 turns of 24 gauge. I say that's pretty good. It's about 3,333 turns of 32 gauge for a trigger coil. This coil is not operational at the moment. Don't really need it. At this particular point, all I've been able to do with this one is slow everything down, no matter what way I hook it up. So it doesn't matter what way I plug it in. Both ways, it draws from the speed. It either adds to torque and minus speed, or it just goes the opposite direction and either cancels it out or makes it really slow. So happy, so happy. I actually had it going, this one going with that trigger coil. It wasn't going as fast, but like every third spin it would hit this coil would light up at right the precise moment, and it would continue to spin. So I was like, yeah, we can do that. We can time this pulse motor, since they're both 4 magnets, or they're equivalent degree wise, to hit when that one hits on just one coil. But there's a lot of talk about having one of these on top of the other one, and having the one on top spin the opposite direction as the one on the bottom. Now I can see several ways to build this with such an obscure definition of what it's supposed to be. You can have like a cover that's on the top, and it cascades over the edge, moving in the opposite direction. So what it does is things appear to be moving twice as fast, even to the electron itself. Things are going a lot more quickly. when you have one thing going the opposite way as the other on top of one another. And even if it was like I said, like the edge goes over the magnet, and then you can either have some copper on it or more magnets. You know, I don't know how what you would do, but just to get it to spin in the opposite direction, you're like it'll be amazing if it works. You know, you'll like quadrupling your speed automatically. If they both run the opposite way in full power, I mean, Jesus Christ, what are we thinking here? Just think like 4,000 RPMs, and then have one going 4,000 RPMs the opposite direction, and having an interaction. They got to interact. If they don't interact, it doesn't count. But yeah, this is that's awesome. That would be so cool. Just think about it. And it's not going to be 8,000 RPMs either. It's going to be exponential RPMs. From what it might be just 8,000, but from what I'm thinking, it's going to be way more than that. That's if both are going in opposite directions at 4,000 RPMs. Anyway, I think that notion's pretty cool. I might try it with something. I have to think about it a little bit. Probably less magnets would be better, like 4 a piece. Like these two might actually work, except for this one. It's got way bigger bearings, bigger hole in the center. So I should pick one that I want to use. Probably be this one right here. Or I just print 2 new ones. The spin's very nice. It's not perfectly flat on the pole because the pole was a little bit smaller than the hole. But it's pretty close. It's attached to the shaft, so the shaft spins with it. It's got quite a bit of momentum. It's perfectly like rounded. It's not off balance that way. It's in the center on the pole. That's where it's off balance at. And then this rotor is off balance and it's shaking everything, so I guess I'm going to print 2 new ones. And I think I'm going to have it be 4 magnet rotors. It's just the question is, should it be 8 inches, 7 inches, 6 inches? That's 6 inches right there. Pretty sure. That's 9 right there. That's 14. So, I don't know. Wow. So hard to figure it out. Anyway, I think I'm going to print... Anyway, the ones that I print are CAD and Slice. Are going to be another 9 magnet rotor with cubes. And then 2 4 magnet rotors with cubes. See, the 4 magnet ones are working pretty well. Alright, well, that's all I got for right now. Been cleaning up as I go, kind of. It's hard. I know I got a lot of work to do. But it's a lot better. I've been doing a lot. And there are no extra wires, sir. Every single one of these wires is being used except for 3 right here and 1 right here. Now, there might be some extra length that I might want to get rid of. And that's pretty much it. You know, I could use terminal block. Like right here, I use a distribution block. So, I mean, like, yeah, it's not pretty, but look, man, if you can figure out another way to distribute the power and have the negatives come back 10 times to the same power supply, you let me know. All right, moving right along. Other than like either using the shrink tube or taping them up, I don't see a way to permanently eradicate the wires occasionally touching one another. Especially if we get in really advanced circuits or connections. Like say I hook up each one of these 10 parallel. That's going to be a freaking crazy mess. But I might be able to set something up with the red wire instead of these clips. Use like terminal blocks and some 24 gauge and just make my own connections with the terminal blocks. That might be doable. But yeah, like having the wires not touch each other would be really good. Yeah, I kind of can't wait to get this experiment off the ground. I want to make a really balanced rotor, so I don't know. With the CAD software, I say this all the time that I use, it's really hard to even get a straight line. I mean, you can get a straight line, but that's not exactly what I meant. Anyway, man, I would like to buy, you know, somebody make me a rotor that I create, but I don't have enough confidence in what I build to actually pay for that. I mean, if they did tweaks or, you know, logical amendments to the design, I'd be more apt to buy one than it'd just be mine. I'm really, that is not who I am, man. I'd rather have somebody else, you know, fix it up, and I pay them a little bit of money to do that, and have me send it in all fucked up and have them send it back to me all fucked up. I mean, like, no, that's not what I'm paying you for. All right. Peace out. Have a good night. We'll see what's up. Bye now.